I don't have my teleprompter today, so I'm going to be looking down here. Hello and welcome to the bi-weekly IoTeXperts live stream brought to you by the folks at IoTeX. My name is Robert Wolf, and I will be your host today and every 2 weeks as we take a deeper look at the IoTeX developer ecosystem and explore the many things going on in and around this exciting space, because it is very exciting almost every single day, and today in particular. Each of these live streams will start with developer updates, followed by in-depth conversations about IoTeX and our growing developer ecosystem. Joined by featured experts, we will discuss a plethora of topics tailored for developers, showcase opportunities, explore resources, and bring new and exciting IoTeX developments to light. Each of these events will finish with an audience Q&A. Now, as a reminder, if you enjoy this broadcast, please make sure to smash that like button. It helps us out a lot. And of course, if you are interested in seeing more things like this, make sure to drop a comment. Let us know what you'd like to see, and subscribe to the IoTeX official channel on YouTube to get more exciting live streams and videos just like this one. Now, today, I am told that a very, very anticipated launch happened. And so we're going to bring on the experts here to tell us about the drum roll, Livestream, the big old flower that you've been seeing all over Twitter. What is that flower? It is Livestream, and Simone and Giuseppe are here to tell us about that. Hello,
I love this flower. Hello, how's it going?
We should replace the little overlay on the top over there to the flower this time, but we didn't do that.
Yeah, I think it rocks. It's perfect, and yeah, it's got a great energy.
Yes. So I guess let's do, everyone already knows who Simone is. Everyone already knows who Giuseppe is. Now, of course, towards the end of our live streams, we do have Discord Jeremy join us for some Discord updates. So stick around for that. But in the meantime, let's start off with, this anticipated release. Everyone's been kind of curious. What is Livestream? What is the flower? Walk us through it. Are we, Simone, trying to talk? You're muted, Simone.
Yeah, I think we can't hear you.
I think I can unmute him there. Oh, I can't. He has to unmute himself. I'm going to remove him for a little bit, Giuseppe, and you can go through this.
I'll keep rolling.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Keep rolling.
It's the beauty of going live. But yeah,
I'll work on the tech troubleshooting here while you go ahead and talk.
Yeah, for sure. So today was actually an amazing day because we had so much going on. So we started the day with the ARM Dev Summit. Robert was there, Simone was there, and we had a little quick demonstration of what's possible to do with Livestream. And at the same time, the launch from the IoTeX official channel was happening with our CEO Roland Chai, talking a little bit about what Livestream is and what kind of possibilities Livestream opens for developers and applications that can be built with it in the future. Livestream is chain agnostic, so it's not just for IoTeX chain, which is what we're going to use obviously today for this example and at the beginning together with Ethereum, but later on builders from all chains, builders of all sorts of applications could actually really take advantage of this. And what to say? There is so much to say. I have a few slides maybe that could help me visualize what I would like to talk about. So I'm gonna go ahead and present them, and then I'll just keep on talking in the meantime. So let me just share my screen.
All right, bringing it in.
Awesome. So what we're going to do today is basically creating a click-to-earn application, obviously leveraging Livestream. The flower is here. And what this application does is super simple. It basically rewards a user to click on a board. I have an ESP32, and it rewards the user with tokens. So it's a very simple implementation. Obviously, there is not a lot of complexity in terms of when we did the walk to earn example, for example, we had to register the device and we had to use some contracts to do that, some contracts to pair the device with a certain owner and things like that. We're not doing it today because I just want to focus on what Livestream can do, right? So obviously, what is WebStream and what are we doing here? So in a very simple, in a nutshell, WebStream is this decentralized infrastructure that is going to help connecting smart devices to smart contracts. So it basically allows for computation, for verification, for storage, processing of the data streams from any sort of smart device, and then basically help people that build decentralized applications on blockchain to use this data stream. So super useful, and considering that machines and data coming from machines is going to be really a multiplying factor, in the next few years, is definitely a super important tool. So this is what we're doing today. Super simple. I just want to show you, for example, what WebStream can do. We're going to run a node. We're also going to look at this UI that we created to basically run the node, as well as manage your WebStream node. That's called WebStream Studio. So we'll focus on that, and you'll see that it's actually super simple to basically create your own applet, deploy it on the node, and make it all happen. So before we get into that, I just want to share a couple of links, and Robert, maybe we can share them also, on the, how do you call it, on the little banners. Exactly. So there is obviously a lot of materials that developers can look into, and this is obviously going to happen in the developers portal at developers.iotex.io. Both me and Simone are working on this get started tutorial that will build a MachineFi application, but we're also about to release the walk to earn, which is sort of like an example of a broader category of applications that are like X to earn, do an activity, real world activity to earn applications. And so that can be very useful as well. Simone actually made an amazing job here at doing the WebStream documentation. It's very well documented. Obviously, we can go through everything today. So if you're interested, docs.webstream.com will actually have a lot of examples on how to use WebStream Studio, as well as concepts such as like, what is an applet in WebStream? What is an event? What is a publisher? And all these things that we're gonna be talking about. But if they're a little bit unclear, or if you want to like get deeper into it, the documentation is always the single source of truth. And then last but definitely not least, webstream.com. And webstream.com is the WebStream website, and that has all the information, and it has the single one command that the developers can use to run their node, and so super useful as well. So getting back to our application, we're obviously building a MachineFi application. Now, Robert, we've talked about MachineFi a lot over the past episodes, but if there is still something more to say, or if it's unclear, basically a MachineFi application, a MachineFi is a methodology that is developed by IoTeX, and this is meant as a way of incentivizing the deployment of machines, and especially financializing their utility and data stream. So a MachineFi application, just like I'm showing here, it has three components. So we have the blockchain component, the WebStream node, and the firmware. So for today's purposes, the blockchain component is super simple. We're actually just deployed an ERC20 token. That is very, very simple, and basically has an operators mapping that allows the owner of the contract to have operators that can actually mint some ERC20 tokens. And so if I actually get into it, I have it here, blockchain, contracts, click token. You can see it's super simple. The source code for this MachineFi get started is in the developer portal. I will share the link in just a second, and so we can also have it for anybody who's watching. As a matter of fact, we could do it now. So these are basically the two links that you will need. So from the developers portal, you can go to deploy a MachineFi D app, and this will show you basically everything that you need in order to make this happen, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just sort of quickly following through this and showing you basically what this application, how to build this application. But each step is basically guided through here. And so with examples on how to import the token on MetaMask, how to deploy the contract, how to actually leverage Hardhat to add an operator, and so forth and so on. We're going to talk about WebStream, how to run the node, and we have some screenshots of WebStream Studio just to make sure everything is clear. And then after that, we'll also talk about the firmware component. And this is done following an ESP32, but can also be done with Arduino Nano 33 IoT. They're just a little bit different because this already has a button and the Arduino Nano doesn't, so you would have to connect the button, but everything is described there anyway. So this is one link. Second link is basically the get started repository that you need to clone, and that will sort of get you started, and you will have the blockchain component, the firmware component, and the WebStream component. So these are basically here. Our WebStream node today is going to process and save this data, and is going to send proofs to the smart contracts. And then once the smart contract receives the proofs, then it will mint these tokens. And for today, the logic is super simple. Every 5 clicks, WebStream sends a proof to the smart contract that I've performed 5 clicks, and then I will get 1 click token. And the firmware is basically just set up so that it just sends messages to the WebStream node. So that's all that's going on there. So before we get to the code, I just want to, I will keep going back and forth to this workflow to just basically show what's happening. But basically this described what I just talked about. So before we get into the code, Robert, do you have some questions or considerations on anything that you wanted to add?
I do, yes, but I want to, number one, first of all, block someone who just joined the YouTube chat, and number two, I want to see if Simone is working now. Simone, are you able to join in here yet? Because let's see, Simone, can you hear us? Can you hear us? We can hear you. No. Okay, I think it's still not working for him. Yeah,
it's so funny. We work with all these like complex things and all these technologies, and then like sometimes then the connection to StreamYard just fails for some reason. But it's the beauty of going live.
Yes. So we'll try again with Simone. I have him in the background here trying to figure out what we can do. In terms of questions, so WebStream, I want to know what this means. I want to know what this means at the highest level, right? So, I heard you talk about a bunch of stuff, but I want to hear what this means in terms of, we have the layer 1 blockchain, we have the layer 2 blockchain, we have me being able to now start deploying this. And tell me as a developer, maybe give me some example use cases, give me some things that I can do with this now out the door, right? Because my understanding is that this is a very early release. And so if I just go and start wanting to do a whole bunch of stuff, I might not be able to, right? So what are some use cases I can actually go and play with this right now as a developer?
Yeah, for sure. So let's go through maybe what you can do now versus on a highest level, what's going to be able to, what a developer will be able to do, down the line as with the next releases and so forth. So
Perfect.
Right now, what we can do is, for example, we can build any sort of application that has some simple verification logic and validation logic that can reflect real world activity and transfer it to a smart contract. So the example that we always do is the X to earn example. And that's sort of what you'll be able to do right off the bat right here. So if it's any sort of maybe proof that's related to, let's say, location, or if it's maybe a proof of clicks like we're doing now, or maybe steps when we use the accelerometer in the Arduino Nano, and so forth. All these types of applications are 100% possible at the moment. And obviously, the infrastructure will become more and more robust. There will be, more and more modules and applets that will be added to it, and the developers can add as well to, obviously progress, and make it more and more complex. I'm hearing a
Awesome.
strange background noise.
Is it me? Are you
I'm
hearing it?
not
Like,
sure.
are you hearing an echo from you? I'm not hearing one. So, do you
Okay, so
hear
it
your
probably
voice
me.
echoing? It could be me typing.
No, 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 no. It's different. It's different. It's
Okay.
okay. It's, it could be voices in my head. Who knows?
Cool. All right. Well, so let's bring your presentation back up here. We got your
Yeah.
YouTube. Let's keep walking through this.
Yeah, for sure. So actually, as you were saying, on a higher level, right? So what can be built here, and why are we doing this? We're doing this because obviously machines are going to play a huge role, as years go, as year progress, and they're bigger and bigger part of the economy. So the economy that can actually be, um, uh, that can spark from the amount of work that these machines can do is a super important thing, right? So imagine if you can have autonomous vehicles just driving, and it's like your Uber, and you just own them, and then you just could collateralize maybe whatever work they do, and so the whole point here is financializing the work of machines. And that's basically why we're doing this, which I think it's super, super cool. So if we decide to actually, let's move on. So the first thing,
Real quick
yeah,
on that note, I just want to bring this up because this last week I've had a lot of talks with close friends, family, colleagues, and the topic for some reason came up about base income, right? Where let's not
exactly.
we won't make this political, but seems that from left to right, people around the world, political entities around the world, are slowly starting to realize that no matter which way you cut this cake, eventually we're going to have more people in the world than there are jobs. And even if you want to work, there just might not be a job out there for you. And so, what happens when we get to this point? And so one of the things that I love about this machine fi movement is that, in a way, it's kind of like setting the foundation or paving a path, paving the road towards um, allowing anyone to start generating this base income from things that we're already doing, giving data or generating data and giving data to other people. Now we can actually privatize it and monetize it individually rather than handing it over for free. And so I can't wait. Sorry, I want you to keep going, but
No,
this is just
1000%. I
these
agree
are
a
the things that
thousand
come
percent.
to. Yeah, I mean, like whether it's $1 here, $10 here, the things that EnviroBlock is doing, right? Like put a pebble in your attic, give them data for $1 a day. There's all these little tiny things that MachineFi is going to enable that we're already doing. And now next thing you know, it's like, okay, well, I can't say I have the skills for a job, but a machine took it. Well, now I can monetize all these other things that I was already doing and generate base income. Right. So anyways, yeah, let's keep going. But this is just,
No,
I
I
just
mean,
love it. It makes
yeah,
my heart warm,
exactly the same. I just feel all these energy because, I mean, when you think about it, there are owners of these machines, right? And there are normal people that own these machines that technically should own the data that is generated by these machines, but at the moment they don't make a penny out of it. And so that is the shift, that is the paradigm shift that we hope to incentivize, and we're working towards, which I think could make a huge difference. So
Yes.
yeah, definitely, it's an amazing topic and it's super inspiring. And I actually urge to go ahead and check out the great and inspiring presentation that Roland did earlier. We could maybe share a link. We have it from Twitter, where he actually talked about this and what WebStream can do as the sort of like final missing not missing anymore, but as a final piece of the puzzle into the IoTeX vision.
Are you talking
So
about the are you talking about the video, the web stream launch video?
yes, I thought it was
Okay.
really great, and it gives a lot of insights. And obviously, it's a lot more eloquent than I am in talking about this. So I definitely
Yeah,
urge everybody to
it's actually at the very
check it
top
out.
of the docs page.
Exactly. Awesome. Awesome. So let's do that. I think still no luck with Simone, huh?
No, he's just going to stick on YouTube. So the weight of this entire live stream rests on your shoulders, Giuseppe.
Okay, sounds great. I have very small, tiny shoulders, but hopefully they can handle the weight. All right. So the first thing that we're going to look at here is just let's look at some code, since it's meant for developers. So as you can see, I'm just going to close some of these. And so when I start and I clone the repository, as a matter of fact, let's start from the end. We do like a cool movie. So let's start from the end. I'm going to actually click my ESP32, and I'm going to basically get some rewards, right? So I'm going to access WebStream Studio. We have a default login. You can see that I have an applet here that's running. That's my click to earn project. So when you enter WebStream Studio, basically you can create all these applets, and these applets basically determine the logic of your WebStream node, right? So in my applet, which is running here, and we can see the logs here on my terminal. This applet is basically that logic that I mentioned earlier, where we have each 5 clicks that the user performs, 1 token gets sent to their MetaMask wallet. So if I actually do come here and take my board that is already connected to my laptop and I start clicking it, I get a number of clicks, 21, and then a bunch of other logs. So let's just go to a multiple of 5. So go to 22. And, I could scroll here, and there are like more useful links. For example, my account, so the payload right now is basically showing what account to these tokens will be sent to, right? So I'm at 22. We go to 23. As you can see, it's still here. I have my applet name, the name of my project, click to earn. Now we have 24. And now I just want to show you this so that you don't think I'm trying to make magic tricks. So I already imported a few tokens because obviously I was playing with it earlier. So I have three click tokens now. This is from another presentation that we did. So I have a lot of click tokens. But for this specific example, I have 3 click tokens here. And then hopefully when I go to 25, we're going to see that I have a transaction hash here. All right, so that means that the transaction was successful. We have some logs that just basically show what's going on. So I was sending the transaction. We have a transaction hash, and then we have a log that says the transaction was sent successfully. So now if I actually go to my MetaMask, I do have 4 clicks. Magic. So we just connected, real world clicks to my MetaMask wallet. So now this is starting from the end, right? This is how the application works. But just to get into a little bit more details here. So here in this, we don't need this. In this click-to-earn.go, this is where the logic of our WebStream node basically resides, right? Here I added the contract address of the token that I imported in MetaMask. And there is, this function started. That's the one that gets called by our strategy in Studio. So this is where you would have the logic of your WebStream node. Then you would have the firmware component, where I actually have the firmware, and I can just show you on the Arduino IDE. You have the secrets file that basically where you put, Wi-Fi IP address of your node and things like that. And then in the click-to-earn.eno here, we do have the loop function here that basically, on is pressed will send the events over HTTP. We're not doing the MQTT. We're just sending over the WebStream HTTP API today. And then, I'm just making it obviously super quick. There's so much more, but I don't want to just like take the whole time going through code. I think if devs are interested, either if they have some questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, we could a lot more is discussed here in the get started that we made on the developers portal. So going back to WebStream Studio, once you create your own project, you have this applet which is running here. And then we have publisher and strategies. These are very important. So right now we're just using our default strategy, which is good because basically it's just taking any event that is sort of sent to WebStream and is processing it. And it's fine for this type of demonstration, right? We don't want to do any like crazy or special verification or validation. And then as far as publishers go, this is important because a publisher is sort of like the entity that is authorized to actually send some.
I'm sorry. No, it's just because so you're talking about all these things just has my mind running, right? And I'm thinking here, what can we use this for? And you know what? Someone in the chat just kind of commented something here saying, hey, can we use our IOPay wallet to be used like MachineFi, where we can use to connect to YouTube live stream, or maybe from smartphone using IOPay to connect to a billboard and or live stream for an advertisement. And I'm thinking like, so Sayal, I'm trying to understand your question. The way I'm understanding it is, can users be incentivized through a mobile app, which is running on a smart device, to perform certain tasks? And I think that, of course, this would require some development. But I mean, like, how can we automate a way for like dropping IoTeXpert coin on someone every time they join our live stream? Through their IOPay wallet. Say they're using something like that.
Yeah, obviously, I wish that Simone would be here to make a more, eloquent answer to this. But I think the whole point is that I'm just here to sort of like inspire some developers to actually come up with these ideas and bring them forward and apply for example, for Halo grants, for other types of grants that IoTeX offers, for you guys to actually come up with a great idea and use our infrastructure and create these new wave of applications that I think will be revolutionary, because right now nobody's doing something like this. So that's the point. I'm talking in detail, not in details, but I'm talking about this click to earn. And it's super simple. I'm just clicking on a board.
Yeah, you can apply it to anything.
Tokens.
You can apply it to anything. That's the coolest part about this is, you can literally think of X, and that you guys, IoTeX did a tweet about this, X to earn. Like, just think of anything and you could turn it into a way to incentivize.
Yes, any sort of like real world data that we can use some sort of board with some whatever sensor you want that can actually be sent and verified. There can be any sort of tokenomics or incentives for your users. We are here to inspire you and help you whenever you have all these great ideas. And obviously, we're going to start running some hackathons and all these things to help grow the community and incentivize the community to actually create some amazing applications. And that's what we want to see. That's the most rewarding part about the job, in my opinion.
100%. Sorry, I this gets me really excited. So
no, it's cool. I thought you were fighting with like some fly in your studio.
Oh, no. No, please keep going though. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that is it. You can see that there is a lot more, right? But feel free to check out the docs and just play with it by yourselves, right? So if we go to docs.webstream, and actually another thing that I'm noticing with Simone is that every time we write a 3 now, an E, it's a 3. Like I write my name with, but anyway, this is the video by Rowland that I was checking out, that I was mentioning earlier, and I encourage everybody to watch it because it was really, really, really inspiring. So have a look at that. There is a lot into, the architecture of WebStream. A lot of, for example, there is a whole part about basic concepts here of things that I was just talking about, like for example, publishers. That are very useful, and this is greatly explained by Simone. There is an hello world example here that you can follow. That is very, very simple. So the payload here is just a hello world message, but at least it gets you started pretty quickly. Feel free to check out, like I was saying, the developers portal for this and a lot more examples. We're gonna basically rebuild the walk to earn example using this DevNet seed version of WebStream. I think also the versions of WebStream have super cool names, and so we're starting at seed, and eventually we'll be able to be a flourishing flower. And yeah, what else? I think we have the basic concepts, sending data. I mean, everything is here. So feel free to go through, and always feel free to reach out. I'll stop sharing. Feel free to reach out to us, through Discord, developer portal. Also, feel free to apply for Halo grants if you have any ideas. If you want to discuss them with us, always, reach out. We're always happy to help. But yeah, there is a lot of stuff going on, and yeah, we're happy to be here for you.
Awesome, very cool, and I look forward to seeing all the cool stuff that will be coming up, in the coming days, weeks, months, as the tech continues to develop, and as developers begin to start building and doing cool stuff. And I think now is a good time to possibly bring on, since we didn't get Simone in, we can bring Jeremy
Yeah.
in a little early. Maybe he can comment a little bit on this, and of course, we can just kind of segue right into the. We got to get a theme song like Jeremy's minutes. Here he
I'm
is.
sure we
All
can.
right.
I'm sure we can find
Hello.
somebody to do it.
Hello, everyone.
What's up, Jeremy? How are you?
Yeah, I'm great, guys. How are you guys?
Good,
Awesome.
thank you.
Great. Great to be here. I love you as usual. As usual, I have some minutes I prepared from the Discord chat, the support and the developer updates, etc. One thing caught my eye. I heard I overheard you guys discuss the SEO Ongcho Tony as suggestion in the chat about this billboard, the smart billboard that you could possibly connect to WebStream and live stream. This is my understanding, Robert.
Oh, he
Is
just
you're trying
clarified a
to
little bit, but yeah, sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So what I understand is he had an idea that you would have your Android phone and you could use hello Roy. So what I understand is that you could use like a machine-fi Android SDK, for example, for your Android smartphone, and you would have um, a smart device, like a large billboard display, which would be connected to the internet as well. And you could pay, for example, this token on your phone to unlock the camera and to live stream a ad, and you could potentially have some kind of AI, artificial intelligence, to determine, to filter out inappropriate content and etc. And then you could have this live advertisements, paid advertisements on this display. I think it's a great idea, but this doesn't exist yet. So but it sounds like a great idea, to be honest.
I like it.
So yeah, so I had moving forward, I wanted to display my desktop to you guys. Is that doable?
Yes.
I'll just present.
Usually you have the whole setup where you have your OBS running and stuff. We're just going to do share screen this time.
This time just share screen.
Okay.
I had some issues with OBS. Hold on.
And I'll remind anyone who's watching and not already in our Discord server, Jeremy is basically the guru of answering questions, what seems like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But the link is scrolling down the bottom of the screen there. That's discord.gg/IoTeX. IoTeX.
No matter the time zone, no matter the question, no matter, just Jeremy's on it.
Yeah, I try my best. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your support and guidance. Simone, unfortunately, he's not here with us, but he's with us in his spirit and in the comment section.
That doesn't sound good.
So basically, just a sum up of some of the topics that were discussed on Discord over the past couple of weeks. We had some questions regarding running delegate nodes. I know, Robert, you launched your delegate node recently, so congratulations on that. In regards to some guidance that some people were asking for, there is a document. If you go into the IoTeX Bootstrap repository, if you go into the infra catalog, there's a guide for monitoring. This is for a Grafana. You can actually monitor the infrastructure. There's this little picture of a proposed solution by IoTeX, where you have the envoy proxy, the rate limiter with a Redis database and the IoTeX node. The guide actually suggests some settings. It gives you some options of how to use liveliness and readiness probes. And obviously, there's also a shout out to you guys if you are an expert in IoT and dabble in infrastructure. We also appreciate any help in support of some maybe best practices and how you could make it better. So this is that. You can use this if you actually if you don't want to build your own infrastructure to develop an IoTeX node and run your delegate node on IoTeX blockchain. You can use a paid solution where you can pay someone to run your node for you. You can buy it. IoTeX Fastblocks project will run it for you, and all you have to do is just pay a monthly subscription, and you got your node. I'm not exactly sure about the failover architecture behind it, but I'm pretty sure if you look at the documentation, it will guide you on setting it up and provide you with information about the failover structure. So that's that. There's also these projects, third-party projects. This is actually a node pilot. It's a project that helps you to run nodes of different blockchains. IoTeX is one of them. So as you can see on the picture, you can run Binance, Bitcoin, whatever. It's a very interesting project. I actually tried it on my PC once. It's great. It gives you monitoring. You just click a button. The only issue compared to Fastblocks is that in this solution, you actually have to have your own physical hardware or access to a server to host your node. So that's that. This is actually something following up to the infrastructure here about running a decentralized cluster of IoTeX nodes, where you would have an election committee to determine if you, for example, have 3 IoTeX nodes. In case one fails, the other one will take over. I'm actually working on improving this documentation and the structure of the infrastructure, but that's a work in progress. So that's about that for the development section of the Discord topics. There were some discussion about the ERC20 tokens. There is actually an official token thread here. There were some topics about the quantum computing, and there was a discussion earlier, Giuseppe, about the Android SDK. So the WebStream documentation here contains all of that. So I advise everyone to have a look there if you're interested in developing on IoTeX. Here's the repository here, and contribute, please, if you have a minute. So that's that, Robert, from my side.
Jeremy's Discord minutes. All right, there we go. Thank you, Jeremy. Awesome. So Giuseppe, any last things that you'd like to add before we close this out?
Just simply have fun. Play with it. It's there for you. We put a lot of effort into it. Everybody in the IoTeX team has put a ton of effort into it, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. We're just here presenting it to you, but like a lot of people, a lot of very smart people were involved into this. So just have fun and build anything. Hashtag build anything. With Webstream, and let us know what you think. We're always here. If you have feedback, we're always here to help. If you need help, and just build the next big app, and we'll be there with you.
Join us on Discord if you have any questions, and we'll be glad to help you out.
100%. Yes. In fact, the Discord, I feel, is like the #1 place to get that real-time support, whereas the developers.iotex.io, that's kind of like where you get all your guides and have that, the fun building part. So go sign up, go take your GitHub over to developers.iotex.io, sign up, get yourself an account over there. Yes, Jeremy.
Sorry, I just clicked the button. My computer was my Microsoft just said it was shutting down. I was afraid I was going to lose you guys. So I was beginning to say bye.
You're like, bye.
Preemptively saying goodbye.
See you guys. But it's okay now. It's okay.
All right.
Crisis averted.
All right. I'm going to close this out. Thank you so much, Giuseppe. That was an awesome presentation on Webstream. Thank you, Jeremy, for your bi-weekly Discord minutes. And we will be back 2 weeks from now for another live stream. Hopefully we'll have some interesting guests to join us. Just to let you know, this happens every other week at 1:15 p.m. Pacific time. And I believe we just had a time change. I don't remember. It's 7 or 8 hours ahead for the UTC time, but it's either 8 or 9 p.m., 9:15 p.m. UTC every week. Anyways, on Discord, there's the events there. You can find us. It usually goes for 1 hour, so we're ending this a little bit early. Thank you so much for your time, Giuseppe, Jeremy. Thank you. Sorry for the technical difficulties from Simone, but we will be back next time. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the IoTeX YouTube channel. And take care. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. See you guys. Thank you.